Welcome to the Forge, my wanton wildlings. I'm your Creepsmith, and I hope you like my work.
One of the difficulties in modern horror stories is that our general societies are apparently incapable of keeping the warnings of horrific danger in our collective memory with the appropriate solemnity. The Black Death becomes Ring Around the Rosie, ancestors returning from the dead becomes Sugar Skulls and Parties, and a sand demon that'll wipe you out and eat your soul becomes Robin Williams in Blue. Such is the case of tonight's little kids game, descended as it apparently was from, of all things, a punishment for apostasy. Tonight's reading, The Midnight Game, author unknown. The so-called Midnight Game is actually an old pagan ritual, used mainly as punishment for those who've broken the laws of the religion in question. While it is mainly used as a scare tactic to not disobey the gods, there is still a very existent chance of death for those who play the Midnight Game. There's an even higher chance of permanent mental scarring. It's highly recommended that you do not play this game. However, for those few thrill seekers searching for a rush, or those delving into obscure occult rituals, these are simple instructions on how to play, but you do so at your own risk. There is a prerequisite. It must be exactly 12 a.m. when you begin performing the ritual. Otherwise, it will not work. You will need materials, as in a candle, a piece of paper, a writing implement, matches, salt, a wooden door, and at least one drop of your own blood. If you're playing with multiple people, they will each need their own aforementioned materials, and they will have to perform the steps below each accordingly. Step 1. Write your full name, first, middle, and last, on the piece of paper. Put at least one drop of blood on the paper, and allow it to soak in. Step 2. Turn off all the lights in the place you're doing this. Go to your wooden door, and place the paper with your name on it in front of the door. Now, take out the candle and light it. Place it on top of the paper. Step 3. Knock on the door 22 times. The hour must be 12 a.m. on the final knock. Then open the door, blow out the candle, and close the door. You've just allowed the Midnight Man to enter your house. Step 4. Immediately relight your candle. This is where the game begins. You must now lurk around your completely dark house with the candle in your hand. Your goal is to avoid the Midnight Man at all costs until 3:33 a.m. Should your candle ever go out, that means the man is near you. You must relight your candle within the next 10 seconds. If you're not successful at doing this, you must then immediately surround yourself with a circle of salt. If you're unsuccessful in both of your actions, the Midnight Man will create a hallucination of your greatest fear and rip out your organs one by one. You'll feel it, but you will be unable to react. If you're successful in creating the circle of salt, you must remain within it until 3:33 a.m. If you're successful in relighting your candle, you may proceed with the game. You must continue to 3:33 without being attacked by the Midnight Man or being trapped inside the circle of salt to win the Midnight Game. The Midnight Man will leave your house at 3:33 a.m., and you will be allowed to proceed with your morning safely. There is one additional thing. Indications that you're near the Midnight Man will include sudden drops in temperature, seeing a pure black humanoid figure through the darkness, or hearing very soft whispering coming from an indiscernible source. If you experience any of these, it's advised that you leave the area to avoid the Midnight Man. In any case, do not turn on any of the lights during the Midnight Game. Do not use a flashlight during the Midnight Game. Do not go to sleep during the Midnight Game. Do not attempt to use another person's blood on your name. Do not use a lighter as a substitute for a candle. This will not work. And definitely do not attempt to provoke the Midnight Man in any way. Even when the game is over, he will always be watching you. So good luck. You're going to need it. Ah, yes. Wholesome family fun. Perhaps later you can go out looking for a Wendigo or a Banshee. Kids. Anyway, stay scary, my wildlings, and make the most of your nights.